Hi guys, my name is Madeline. I'm with Holistic Home and Health, and I'm here with Kristie. She is going to be telling me a little bit about her house. She's been having some paranormal experiences, from my understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a walk and just kind of going through it and seeing what I pick up and feel. And so hopefully I can give you some clarity and some insight and guidance to help you a little bit on this.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so I guess do you maybe want to start by telling a little bit about your background with your house and some of your experiences?
I moved in here in December of 2017, so about 6.5 years. We didn't have many experiences up until the last couple of years. And do you want to tell me or what we've had going on? Some of what? Or do you want to go to the rooms and
Yeah,
the
I
different-
guess maybe like what are some of the overarching themes or things that you're experiencing, and then we can go and walk through the rooms and everything.
Electrical has been
Yes,
one
I
of the
picked that up.
major.
Yep.
TVs and lights, mainly. We've also had electric toys, a vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
I've had a lot of water damage to the house, and I'm not sure that has anything to do with
I think it
that,
does.
or it's my problem with the house. So, yeah. But that's pretty much of what we've noticed a lot of.
Okay.
We've had some voices a few times.
Okay, definitely. Do the voices ever say anything? Or are they always the same voices?
It was back in December that it was the first time we actually heard some voices.
Okay.
But the real strongest one that I heard, no, it wasn't the strongest one. There was a night that it was different voices that was going on. Like a little girl, and then there was older people.
Okay.
But the one that I had recorded, it made no sense. So,
It's a little bit like gibberish.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it'll come across like that, and it's hard to pick up the frequencies and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Very cool.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you heard voices for the first time out loud just 6 months ago, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's it's taken a while for the activity to get to that point then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last time there was any noise was probably about 3 weeks after that. My daughter heard whistling. And then there hasn't been any voices since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I don't think that we're going to hear any voices today. Those usually come out at night, and it's usually more so to people who have been here a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's really interesting that I'm definitely getting the impression that there's multiple things going on here. And usually in, places with a lot of paranormal activity, that will be the case. When one thing comes, then it kind of attracts others.
Yeah. And I do notice, like, when I am stressed out or there's a lot going on in my life, that I'm like breakdown mode, that is when the most activity comes along. Yes.
And I have a suspicion as to why. So I'm curious to see what happens during the walk and everything.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I have a feeling of why that's going on for you.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and go in then.
Okay.
All right.
We'll start with the upstairs, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to lead the way. I'm just going to stabilize this a little bit more. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay. So, if you want to maybe go in front, yes, I can capture it.
This is a mess. This is one of the rooms I'm taking apart.
Okay.
It's one of my daughter's room. I guess there's no light in here. Okay. So we haven't had much activity in this room. I think maybe a light has turned on once in here.
Okay.
So this room's pretty quiet for her. And if you want to go into this room here, this room has a little bit more noise.
Yeah, I was getting that impression.
Just a few nights ago, I think it was 2, maybe 3 nights ago, my daughter's lights were turning on and off. And she was also listening to music on her phone, and it would go low, and then it'd go back high, then it would turn off, and then it would turn back on. But prior to that, it was probably a month ago. She texted me in the middle of the night and she said, "Are you turning off and on my light?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep. I'm not messing with your light." So she's had that going on.
Oh, goodness.
And we don't know when the whistling happened. My daughter was sitting on the stairs because me and my mom were just leaving to go somewhere. So she would like goodbye and then she just sat down. And she immediately texted me and she's like, "Mom, somebody's either in my room or this is Caitlin's room." She said, or in the hallway, and they just keep whistling.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, "Do you need me to come back? Are you scared?" And she goes, "No, I'm okay." So none of us have been scared.
That's good.
So, yeah.
But it's just eerie activity and eerie things are going on.
Yeah.
Things that can't be explained.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
So.
All right.
And then nothing with the bathrooms. That one anyways, I suppose. In this area we've had remote control cars and a vacuum start and turn off. Pretty much up here isn't too much activity, and that room or the kitchen at all. Do you want to walk through here? Or?
Yeah, we can walk through if you want. Sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of my camera.
You're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting that the activity is not very strong or present in this living room, kitchen area.
It's downstairs.
Yeah, and in that back bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's more rare in there even than my room is the biggest place.
Okay.
So we'll head downstairs.
Yes.
Okay. And this will be in my room.
Okay.
This is where a lot of activity happens.
Oh, yes.
This lamp over here for a long time would turn on just randomly. I think it's been 2 months, 3 months. I have my TV pulls out so I can watch it like this. And there was a man standing here while I was sitting in bed. I mean a human. And he was talking to me and all of a sudden the TV just turns on. And then I had to turn it off physically. But yeah, it was like, where's that coming from?
Oh my goodness, that's terrifying. So he looked like a man.
No, it was a friend.
Oh, okay.
He was actually standing there, and it was like the TV, I mean, we were just talking, and all of a sudden it was like, it just turned on.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel the concentration of the activity in here, and I actually felt it as I stepped through this door frame right here. And I feel it a lot more so on this side. Over here, like as I was stepping into here and as I was looking at you. And I feel like it goes back a lot to your bed area and everything. Yeah.
Which is interesting because I know the one voice that I heard when I was trying to sleep that night when there was a lot of activity was down there by that nightstand, and I kept hearing it's cold, and it was a very clear voice of a young little girl, and she kept saying, it's cold, and then she said, "Get my mommy, I need my mommy," and then it ended. Oh my
goodness.
Yeah. So then there was the one that I had caught little bits of, sounded like a gentleman sitting on my dresser, and whispering, and I thought he was saying, "Kristie, Kristie, Kristie." And so finally I said, "What?" And my dog walked in the room, and I heard like a whistle, like as you're calling a dog, and I realized her name is Daisy. And I was like, he's not saying Daisy, he's saying Kristie. Or he's not saying Kristie, he's saying Daisy. So she had jumped on my bed, and then it sounded as the voice was coming over here, but then that's where it got to where it was incoherent, and I couldn't understand anything it was saying. But I started asking him, what do you want? Are you a dog? What is it you want? Can you go away? Can you leave? That type of thing. And it got quiet again. And that afternoon, was just cleaning my bedding, washing it, and my girls were in here. I was on the bed. My one of my daughters was standing here, and my other daughter was standing, because there's a ledge right here, so she was standing up here like this.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't looking at her, but we heard a bam like that. So we thought she had fallen and hit the wall, but she got down and she flew on top of me. And I was like, what the heck are you doing? And she goes, somebody's down there. And she said what they did was they had hit this. And me and my daughter had told her, we're like, we thought you like fell into the wall and hit your elbow. And she goes, no, somebody banged right there on that wood.
Oh my goodness.
And so at that point we did all leave the room for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the activity we've been having in here.
Wow. So it sounds like this is the concentration of the activity in your room. And you were telling me that earlier too.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's at least 2 spirits that have been coming through. And then there's some of the weird other activity going on.
Yeah.
I'm curious, could she feel how close the banging was to her on
yeah. She
okay.
Because it would be this ledge right here that she was standing on, and she said she could feel it, like the wood, like not vibrate, kind of move.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it was like right next to her.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really scary.
And that was the last place I had heard him. A few hours before that had happened, because like I said, it was like he was on the dresser, and then it was coming from right there. And I thought, I think he's under the bed. That's what it started sounding like. And then when she did that, she was like, I don't know if he's under the bed or next to the bed, but yeah.
So my first impression is that it's definitely a male figure. He's the strongest one that's coming through. He's the easiest one to pick up for me. But I can't tell if he's a relative or not. Because I do get the sense that he cares. There's a protective aspect, and I think he's trying to give you a warning signal.
Which I can give you some background on that.
Okay.
My 2 daughters, the ones that were in here with me, their dad had passed, and he's been gone for a while. And with the TV turning on with that friend that was standing here, he was not quite a good person. And after that all happened, I was like, we will say his name. We'll be like, Tim, we know you're here. And so I felt like he was protecting me by turning on the TV. That was my gut feeling after it happened.
Yes.
It's like he is here and he will turn on this TV as a warning of things aren't right. And also, as I explained to you, when I'm going through a stressful time or not doing good or making wrong decisions, he will come through me through songs of ours, really strong, and those songs will be over and over again. So yes, a lot of times we do think, there's that kind of stuff, and we do talk to him. We're like, all right, Tim, we get it, or they're like, Dad, stop. So we don't feel endangered or scared with stuff like that. I mean, that banging did scare her, but it was out of nowhere. She was like, that was the first kind of close to physical that we'd gotten, and I mean, if somebody banged on the bed, I would jump too.
Right? Yeah, of course. It's very understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely get the impression now that you're talking about him and I'm feeling his energy that he is there. I'm still a little bit confused about the banging. That's the one thing. I'm confused exactly what he was trying to say, but I feel like he was trying to connect with your dog.
Yes.
And to be there, and more so to kind of give your dog energy or a message to help you and your girls.
Yes.
But I agree that the TV was definitely a warning signal. I'm getting that really strongly, and that it's a good male energy, but I definitely am picking up that there's some issues with you and him, and he keeps trying to work on them and resolve them, but then the relationship with your daughters is very different.
Yes.
But he's very, very protective, but the big thing I'm picking up from him is he's holding on a lot.
Yes.
Like he's very stuck.
Yeah. I
Very,
believe
very
he
stuck.
holds on to me a lot.
Yes.
Is what I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that really, really strongly.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm very confused on the lamp of what that is. Because sometimes it's like just, I feel like it's just like, hey, you know, nothing's going on, but hey.
So I think that there's a little bit of an overlap actually with some of the things that are going on and that you're experiencing. So there's definitely the stuff from him, and then there's the little girl, and the little girl is more just like the residual energy, I think, in this area. Like this house, or where she might have lived nearby or something. But then some of the weird electrical stuff that you're experiencing, I think that's actually the beginning of a poltergeist.
Wow.
And everything you were telling me really made me feel that way. Like you have the lights turning on and off, TVs, electronics, you know, unplugged electronics, things without batteries turning on and off. Those are always clear signs of a poltergeist. And then especially when you mentioned that when you're really stressed out, it gets worse.
Yeah.
That confirmed it for me, because poltergeists are essentially like a ball of energy that's formed, and they don't really have a lot of consciousness to them until they like age and reach a certain point. But basically how they're formed is from someone who has intuitive abilities, you know, which you do.
Yeah, I do.
You definitely do.
I have strong intuition.
You do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's when someone has those abilities, and it's usually seen in children, and especially a lot of teenage girls will make poltergeists. Because it's when someone who has abilities doesn't know how to deal with like emotional stuff, or they're really stressed or anxious or depressed or whatever is going on, or something traumatic, or like there's grief or something. And so basically what the poltergeist is it's like a ball of energy, and it's a combination of like those abilities, like those psychic abilities essentially, and then all of this like emotional turmoil and chaos. And so they become like a ball of chaos and a ball of energy. And so that's why they usually start with like electrical things. That's kind of the easiest thing that they gravitate towards, but then they will start moving stuff. And they don't really have a lot of a consciousness to them, whereas like something like a shadow person has a consciousness, and they're very, you know, scary and, you know, intimidating, and they feed off of people's fear. But a poltergeist is really innocent. There are like, you know, accounts throughout history of them getting violent and aggressive, and they definitely can. They definitely can, but it takes a long time. And so envision it's kind of like almost like you know how like when, you know, a female's pregnant, she has the umbilical cord and the baby. It's kind of like the person is the baby, and then the poltergeist is kind of like the, you know, amniotic.
Manifest.
Yeah, it's kind of like the umbilical cord and everything, and like the placenta. It's like kind of connected. So like the more upset and stressed out you get, the more it's going to feed it that energy. Does that make sense? And it is connected to you in a way. So a lot of times, like when, you know, you hear stories of poltergeist getting extremely violent, it's because that person just like, there was never intervention. There was never a realization of what happened. And then they just kept dealing with that emotional turmoil and angst and chaos and everything. So it totally makes sense to me why you get an increase in activity when you're stressed out.
And I always know, or like if I'm not making the right decisions in life, and I'm like, I know this is not what I should be doing. And it's like really strong, and I'm like, I'll be like, okay, Tim. I get you, I hear you, give me a minute to fix this situation.
Yeah, definitely. So there are some times where it's just like an ancestor or a loved one on the other side that's giving you a sign. So really clear signs of that are like the songs, angel numbers, things like that. And spirits really like communicating through songs and radio, or even like a random number calling you, or like that person's number calling you or something. They try to communicate in ways that you're going to understand, but when it's really random activity, like really chaotic, that's the poltergeist. And a poltergeist isn't anything to fear. I know that name
sounds
it has a lot of connotations to it, but I mean, being perfectly honest, like growing up, I know I made quite a few. Just, you know, having my abilities and being a teenage girl, going through high school, but there's a way to bring them back in. But there is a certain point with poltergeists where they they can't be saved. They can't, you know, you can't fix that situation. And sometimes the people do have to vacate the house when they get really violent and aggressive, like to the point that they're throwing things, starting fires, things like that.
Yeah, flooding my house.
Yes, that's the other thing too with the water. Yes. It's related to the poltergeist.
Okay.
That's the really big thing I'm picking up.
Yeah, because they're out of anywhere that there has been where water faucets have been, besides that upstairs bathroom, I've had trouble with. And there's one faucet out back that I have not had trouble with. Otherwise, anywhere water can leak, it has leaked.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. My kitchen sink, this bathroom sink, just back in February, I had sewer backup that went everywhere out. I have a room, the one that I spoke to you, that I'm tearing apart because of the black mold, because of water leaking into the house. This winter, the front faucet started leaking into the home. So if there's a water issue, a way water can come, it's coming in. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and so that also speaks greatly, I think, to that emotional chaos aspect.
Yeah.
You know, water is very symbolic of emotion and energy moving, and it's like I'm definitely getting the impression that you're spread really thin, and like just like your emotions. Not that your emotions are all over the place. That's not the right way to say it, but it's like
they probably are.
it's more so like there's so much going on that you're very emotionally drained, and like your emotions are just like flooding out.
Yeah,
and it's like it's more like a reactive or like survival place where the emotions are coming from rather than your true emotions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I'm picking up. Yeah. Okay. And so to me that makes sense with the water and everything going on. Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think of anything else. I know my daughter that was standing on the bed when her dad first died. I'm so bad with ages and dates, but I believe she was about 6, 7, and she would see him a lot. She saw him a lot, and she will come up with angel numbers a lot.
Oh, very cool.
I don't remember what the situation was, but I know she was laying in bed one day, and there was some number that came from somewhere, and she just Googled it on her phone, and she was like, Mom, look at this. Look at what this says, the message it had and everything. And it was so fitting with her, and I was like, so if she sees random numbers and stuff, and she used to watch clouds, and she was like, look at this. This is because her thing was a unicorn with her dad, and she's like, look at that cloud, and it was like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
And she used to say that when she would swing on the playground, she would talk, and I was like, who are you talking to? And she was like, Dad. So she was very intuitive, and I kept trying to keep that with her, but the older she's gotten, I could tell she's lost it more and more.
Yeah, it happens. I think that's a really natural thing, that children are a lot more intuitive when they're younger. And it makes sense to me with how intuitive you are that she naturally follows that path and has those interests. That's really cool that she has a lot of those experiences. Yeah. And I wonder if maybe just encouraging her to embrace it a little bit more might help her.
I've tried a lot. We definitely keep his memory alive, you know, Father's Day, his birthday.
Oh, beautiful.
Christmas, where the girls get gifts from him through me and my other daughter, and family members for all the occasions.
Oh, very cool.
So we definitely keep him around.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that you guys do that. I think that's really important, and I can tell that he's really happy about that. Yeah.
He really loves that they celebrate him.
Yes.
Or we all celebrate him. So,
it's important.
Yeah. And we have our jokes with him. That's enough. Or I'm trying to think of some of them, but about stuff that happens with us, and I would be like, this is your dad's fault. Your dad
right?
did this.
Oh, that's too funny.
So,
Very cool.
But I don't know. Mainly it's just in this room.
Yeah. Would you like to maybe try to reel some of that energy from the poltergeist back in? Because it's essentially like your energy And then after a certain point, it kind of gets its own mind
Yeah.
and own consciousness.
Yeah.
But I can tell right now it's still pretty connected to you.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it's going to be impacted by your emotional climate and state.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. So the way that I do these is usually more of a meditation. I'm also curious if maybe I can connect with the young girl first.
Sure. And that was the only thing I ever heard from her.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let me see. How do I want to do this? I'm wondering if, because the activity is concentrated in this room, if maybe we can just like sit down and
Sure.
like kind of meditate and communicate.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
We can sit over here on the couch.
Okay. Whatever's most comfortable to you. So, I think that I would like to try to connect with the young girl first.
Okay.
So I can just be in this state and channel. I'm just going to take my shoes off just so I'm a little bit more grounded. So let's see a little bit about her backstory and what's going on with her.
Okay.
So I'm just going to close my eyes and I'll be talking during this. And I'm just going to tap into the energy here.
Do you want me to put her out?
Oh, no.
Sorry. Okay.
No, it's okay. She is very protective of you.
Mm-hmm.
She helps a lot with everything.
She has fun.
She is. She's so cute. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and start tapping into the energy of your house. Like I was telling you earlier, I was able to pick up some things even before I came here and then as I was pulling up. And I think a lot of the heaviness that I was feeling, and I think that your family feels some of it too, is actually related to that young girl.
Okay.
It feels like a lot of like depression, like just heaviness, like fatigue, like low energy levels. Like, and I feel like those are things that you guys suffer with.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And it's picked up a little bit since moving here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this like drop. And I think that that is also a component of the water, but I know that the water is definitely related to the poltergeist as well.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm basically doing right now is, even though I'm physically here, it's like I like kind of put myself out of my body, and it's like I can walk through your house and just pick up the general energy.
Okay.
But then I can also call in the spirits here. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. So yeah, I was picking up that there's just like a lot of heaviness here, a lot of sadness, a lot of grief. So tapping into the energy of your house. What do I need to know about Kristie's house? What is the story of Kristie's house? Okay, so I'm definitely hearing a woman, a mother, screaming and crying. There's child loss involved. And it's not necessarily this house. Again, it could just be the area, and it's just where they happen to, gravitate towards. And that makes a lot of sense, actually, because that might be related to the young girl that you heard expressing that she was cold, that she needs her mother. Yeah, so I think that that's what it's related to, but let me look a little bit more into that and see what's going on. What do I need to know about that young girl? What do I need to know about that mother I saw? So I'm getting that this is pretty old. Like 100+ years is the impression I'm getting. I'm getting really, really like brief images, almost like a movie in my head. And the way that they're dressed is very turn of the century.
Okay.
It's very, very simple, and I can tell it's very, very rustic out here. Like there's not a lot developed at all. It's very, very basic. And I feel like she actually, like it didn't actually happen in this area of Fort Morgan, but it happened maybe like a little bit further north or something, closer to the old fort is what I'm getting. But I'm getting that there's something with your house where it's like she just like sucked in, like
attached to.
Yeah, she got attached to it. It's like there was an opening, and so she saw it. And I think some of it's actually related to your energy and you being so maternal and so caring and so intuitive, because it does feel like there's a really big thing coming up with her, with that young girl, of searching for a mother.
Okay.
Of needing that. And a lot of times this will happen with children who pass at a young age, unfortunately. And this happens just in general for ghosts, for spirits. A lot of people get like stuck at the age that they were at when they died, and they'll kind of get stuck in their circumstances. And so I would say like a good 50% of hauntings are just those spirits playing out their life.
Okay.
And that's what I call like residual energy. So like if someone worked in like a bar, like Queens is really popular for their haunting. So yeah, you know, a lot of the activity there is the residual energy. It's because the people who passed had a really strong connection or attachment to that, and they were just, you know, busy being at Queens, drinking, partying, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of just there playing that loop out.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like she's doing.
Okay.
She's just here playing that loop out, but she needed like a human mother to connect to and to attach to.
Okay.
Would you like to fulfill that role for her, or would you like to help her move on?
Either one, really. I mean, she needs to move on, I would think.
I agree.
Would be best.
I agree, because I can tell that her mother is moved on. And her mother, even in her lifetime, was very cold and withdrawn and detached. But I also have to take into account the time period and like survival. You know, she probably had quite a few kids, and, you know, being out here in the Wild West.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Harder time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let me try to connect with her a little bit more. It's a little bit difficult without a name, but I can still do it. So I'm just going to ask, can the young female spirit that's here come forward? Can she please connect with us at this time? So she's very, very shy. Very, very, very shy. She doesn't want to come through. It's like she's kind of here, like, but she hasn't fully opened the door all the way. That's what it feels like with her.
She was very whispered, like light whisper.
Yeah, she's very quiet, very, very shy. Okay. It's okay, you can come through right now. Can you tell us your name, maybe? Or what was going on? Why you're so cold? Okay. So something happened, she got lost. The way that she's talking to me, I want to say she's under 7.
Yes.
At the oldest, honestly, probably under 5.
Yeah. I was thinking
it's a very,
5.
very quiet, very, very quiet voice, very almost like a baby talk voice is what I'm picking up with her. And it's hard to fully communicate everything that's coming through me, just because of that language barrier a little bit. And it's very dodgy, it's very spotty what's coming through. But I'm getting the impression that she got lost. That she's saying they were supposed to come back for me. They were supposed to find me or something. And with the cold, that insinuates to me that, you know, she was out at night, that something happened. Yeah. Let's see, what else is going on? It's okay, you can talk to us, you can tell us your story. So I'm getting like an N type of sound for her name, or like maybe an A or an E, but there's definitely an N in there.
Okay.
She really doesn't want to talk though, but I can tell too she goes by like a nickname at her age. And that's like the name that she's kind of stuck with. But I think that she's also maybe saying like some nicknames for her older sisters, because I can tell that she had older sisters. She had a bunch of family members around. And I think like she's calling out for them a little bit. Okay, let's see. What else is going on? Can you tell us why you're so cold? Why you got lost? Okay, so she got distracted by something outside. And the impression I'm getting from her, again, it's difficult because it's being told from a child's perspective. So I'm kind of getting like some images. It was like everyone was kind of busy doing their own thing. It was like dinner time, it was nighttime. And she got distracted by something outside. It's like she saw something light or something shiny, and like she went outside, and I'm getting the impression that she was carrying something with her.
Okay.
That she had like a blanket or an animal or something, like a stuffed animal. She had something with her. That's what I'm getting, very, very much so. And that's how they knew that she wasn't there, because they couldn't find that thing.
The item was missing. Yeah,
the item was missing. And that's what really set the mother off in that state of panic, understandably so. But yeah, it's like it's just like people were busy, like they were, around the house, and she was kind of left to her own devices, and she wandered out. And no one really realized what had happened until it was too late, until it was too dark and it was too cold. Because I did see initially that her mother did find her.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really, really sad. And this is, I think, a lot of the heaviness, because I think that part of the mother's grief is attached to that.
Okay.
To her energy.
Okay.
And this young girl kind of carries it with her here, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you've got multiple layers of grief and trauma and just like that heaviness and sadness and depression here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and see. Do you have any other messages for us? I know it's really, really scary and it's really cold, but it's okay. You don't have to be cold anymore. Okay, yeah. Again, she's telling me that she wants her mom. That's her biggest thing that it comes down to. Yeah. Okay.
And I have a real heaviness on my chest right now. For like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's her.
Heavy. Yeah.
And I think you're also feeling a little bit of her mother's stuff and her stuff, and just the entire situation is really sad.
Yeah.
It's very tragic. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a component though with water. I don't know if it's snow or like a lake or something, but there's something with the water that they found her with. There's something with that cold, cold water. And actually, no, that water, that makes sense. That's another component too to the water issues with your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she does influence that, and it's actually interesting because a lot of times I notice that young children on the other side have a lot of abilities.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they like to play a lot. And it makes sense to me because, like, children, when they're born, like a human child, a lot of times that's when they're most intuitive, is when they're the youngest. Yeah. And that's when you hear stories of, kids being like, oh yeah, Mom, I was in World War II.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just like my daughter was at the younger age, would see her dad and talk with them and things. And it's like the older she's gotten, and I was don't lose that,
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let's see. Okay, I think that she's ready to move on. I don't think I'm going to have much more of a conversation with her. Okay. It won't be very productive. So then, in the process of helping her move on, I need to first see where her mother is, because that's going to be important to reunite the two of them. But I have a feeling that her mother has moved on, and that's also contributing to why the girl feels so lost and stuck here on Earth, because she's very clearly earthbound still. So let's see, where is your mother? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to call in her mother's energy right now, just to reconnect the two. Okay. Okay. You can come forward. It's okay. I know that you're very cold, you're very scared and alone, but you're safe now, and you're going to reconnect with your mother again. You're going to see her again. And it's okay to go see her, but that means that you have to leave this place. And I know that Kristie has been a wonderful mother to you, but it's time to go with your own mother now. And it's safe to do so. It's okay to let go. You don't need to be cold anymore. You don't need to be scared or alone anymore. Okay, this is interesting, a detail that's coming through. The blanket or like animal that she was carrying, it was a little broken, but her mom made it for her. Mm-hmm. And she's saying, like, her mom is trying to connect to her. I can see, like, they're coming together closer, but they're not fully connected yet.
Okay.
And her mom is trying to say, like, I'll fix that for you. Like, it's okay, because her mom is coming through and she's also seeing, like, okay, I'm trying to get my daughter back to me. I'm trying to help her move on. Okay. Alright, yeah, it's okay. You can go back to your mom. She wants to hug you and hold you and warm you up. There you go. There you go. Okay, they're connecting now. And it's safe to be with her again. And you can stay with her. You don't have to come back to this place. You don't have to be cold or in the dark anymore. It's much better to be warm and in the light with your mother. Okay, I am feeling that her energy is lifting from your house, but I want to make sure that it's lifting all the way, so I'm going to just be sitting here doing some energy work on all of your house.
Okay.
And yes, I know you're going to miss playing with everyone here and seeing everyone here, seeing all the kids. But it's okay, you can move on. She has become so much more accustomed to staying here than actually, like, being a real child and being able to experience that and connect with her family. Like, she's been stuck in this state of being alone and scared for so long. Like, she doesn't know how to envision something else. She doesn't know how to let go of it.
The change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I feel like she's connecting with her mom, but then she's like, but wait, I want to come back. So yeah, she's taking a little bit longer. But that's okay. It's very understandable. Okay. But it's okay, sweetie. You can go. You can go with your mom. Okay. Her mom has her now, and she's helping with facilitating that process of taking her to the other side, and she thanked me. Okay, and now doing the energy work on your house, just lifting a lot of that heaviness that was related to them, and also lifting that connection between you and her mother.
Okay.
Okay, things are feeling a lot lighter. How are you feeling?
Lighter.
Yes. Do you feel the heaviness or anything?
No. No, and actually, my mom, just before you said things are getting lighter, my arms just dropped.
Oh, good.
Like they just went, okay.
Like you're relaxing.
Then
you're
you said it's getting lighter, and I was like, it just did.
Yes, it's good. Okay, yeah. So this is good. Everything is clear from them. So she's moved on. She's cleared from you. The energy of the house is cleared. But because it was here so long, like her energy and like that heaviness, it's going to take a little bit for it to naturally kind of circulate and clear out. It is done though.
Yeah.
It is dealt with. It's kind of like if you like get sick and like you have a little bit of a delayed reaction or like side effects after medication or surgery or something. It's kind of like things are going to stick they're going to stick around for just a little bit. But the more that you work on like bringing new energy into your house, the more it's going to help with that process. Or just having a lot of fun. So, like hosting get-togethers or parties, gatherings, bringing people into the house, that will help a lot with boosting it up, but also like reclaiming your space, like, redecorating, remodeling, things like that, or just having fun creating things. Like any creative project, even in the kitchen, is really fun. Dancing, singing, music, laughing, drawing, painting, whatever it is, writing, just anything that's going to kind of give this space a little bit of a boost to give some more life back into it. Because it does feel like there's just been like a big weight here for a while. Yeah. But that is all good. So, the other thing, did you want to try to connect with Tim?
Sure.
Would you like to set boundaries, or are you comfortable with how things are now with him, or do you just want some clarity?
Some clarity, but the boundaries I'm fine with. I don't really have any. I appreciate, like, I feel I still have that co-parent there that helps. That it's like, like I said, he lets me know, like,
yeah, and that's awesome.
But it's something I want to leave to him too, is if he still wants, and I feel he does.
I agree. Yeah, so it sounds like maybe you're okay with how things are. So do you just want to connect with him maybe to get a little bit more insight, or just see how he's doing outside of what he's already doing to you? Okay. All right, so this is going to be a little bit more personal. So you ask whatever you feel comfortable with, and obviously I will be mindful of, if personal things come up.
Gosh, what can I ask?
Yeah, so let me go ahead and draw him in.
Okay.
Okay, Tim, I'm connecting with you on behalf of Kristie. If you could please come through right now. Okay, he was like, I'm here. Okay, so what would you like to ask him? What would you like to know?
I guess I just want him to be more if he could be more available to the girls.
Okay. Tim, is there a way that you could be more available and accessible to your daughters? He is saying that he doesn't know how to connect with them and that they're growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what it came down to. And he was even saying that as you were asking the question a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That he just doesn't know what to do anymore
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our oldest daughter, she's just... like, she speaks when we speak about him and celebrate him and stuff like that. But other than that, she's just like... she was young and forgets that he was even there.
Mm-hmm. No.
So that's really hard.
That is. That's sad.
But I do believe he's most connected with me.
I agree.
Well, I just continue to support with the children.
Okay. He's saying, I'm on it. You know I've got that. He just doesn't know what to do right now with where they're at in life. Which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, are there certain things that might help you connect with your daughters more? He's, again, kind of saying, I don't know exactly. But he's trying to show me something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a hobby or a craft that he did. And that's the one thing I'm getting, that he wants them to maybe do that to connect with him. Because he's very happy with, how you guys do Father's Day and his birthday and gifts and everything. He's very happy with that. He thinks that's good.
I can't think of a hobby or craft. He was into motorcycle riding for a while.
Okay.
They're not getting motorcycles, Tim.
Yes. No motorcycles. I was getting that it is a bit more of like a manly or masculine thing. I was getting the car stuff, the motorcycle stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it was something he was doing with his hands, though, that he was like, that's something that they could do.
I'll have to think on that.
Mm-hmm.
What that might be.
Okay. Let's see. Tim, is there anything else that you wish to relay at this time? Anything that you want Kristie or your daughters to know about? He's saying he can't believe how fast they've grown up. But he's been... in a way, he's trying to communicate that he's like, I've almost been able to be more present on the other side watching them grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's trying to communicate.
Yeah.
That it's...
yeah.
He is grateful for that.
Yeah.
That he, in spite of everything, he has enjoyed that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always felt that as well.
Yes. And then the first thing, though, he said was that he still loves you.
Yes, I've heard that many times.
Yes.
Yes, he's not let go of me ever. So, and the one thing I did think of as what he did was fishing. And me and the children are obsessed with fishing. We do it
awesome.
as much as we can. So that is one thing that he did do with them. At a very young age, would go fishing with them as well.
Very cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I might have seen the tackle box because I was seeing something like a box and like there were these different parts and things, but it was very, very brief.
Yeah, and the girls do remember that when Dad took us fishing, you know. And we are very strong fisher women.
I love it.
That we're out as much as possible. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for this long weekend you can go out
We're
fishing.
hoping. I mean, we've been itching for a couple weeks now. I tease them that, school's out, so I can't fish anymore while you're at school. I didn't. They know I didn't. But I tease them that I am out fishing.
Oh, that's so
their
funny.
school. Yeah. So, and we're very competitive about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd like to ask him that I still want those signs of those, those relationships that I should be bringing into our home or into our family dynamic. And, the signs of, no, this is not where you should be.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And I think that it might be a little bit difficult for him to be in that role because he is still very much in love with you and connected to you.
Yeah.
So, if you would like, I can clarify some boundaries with him around that.
Yeah, I think he needs that.
I agree.
Definitely, because there's been times in relationship with men, it's like, come on, Tim.
Yeah, he's getting in the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, so what exactly are your boundaries or something you would like to communicate about? That, like, you need your independence to live your own life, to have your own romantic relationships, and he needs to move on.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but I think that you still love him. Like, you have a love for him, but it's not so much romantic anymore.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's see. Okay. He already knows that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think he already knows everything, and that's the impression I'm getting. Is he's just kind of sitting there like, yeah, I know. But I still don't want to let go.
Yeah, I know, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of,
Yeah.
I know, but I don't really care. I still love you.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Tim. On Kristie's behalf, I need you to be more respectful and mindful of her boundaries regarding her relationships and how you interact and involve yourself with them. You know what I'm talking about. It's time to let Kristie go. She deserves love. Oh, he's getting very emotional right now.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very emotional. What you two had was very beautiful and sacred. You are still connected. There is a deep love and friendship between you two. But the time has passed for romantic love and you need to let her go, Tim. I know it's difficult and I'm sorry. But she deserves to live her life. And you know that. Tim, I need you to stay present for this conversation. He's trying to walk off from it. He doesn't want to hear it.
No.
Okay, Tim, I'm going to have to pull you back in then. Okay. Yes. I know you sacrificed and did a lot for your family. None of it was in vain. It's time to move on, though. You can still be connected to your daughters and be a wonderful co-parent with Kristie, but that is it. I need you to respect Kristie's boundaries, and she needs you to respect them too. Okay. I think that's as far as I'm going to get with him.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, you can go now. Thank you. Yeah, he's pretty upset with me.
When you said he was walking away, I was like, yeah, I could see it. I could see him, how he would walk away when it was like, when he was alive, when he would get upset, it was like, turn your back and fine.
Mm-hmm.
I could see his swagger, his everything go by. I was like, yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely getting that from him. He had a presence to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he understands though. I think that you might feel things a little bit still, but I think he's going to withdraw a lot more over time. And you two do have a cord, an energetic cord.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to touch it or do anything with it
Mm-hmm.
because I do feel that it's needed.
Yeah.
Like, it's just he needs to be a little bit more respectful with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel it's needed too. That's why I was like, yeah, I still want that co-parent part there because, you know, a lot of people don't get that when somebody passes, and especially when it comes to children, they don't get that like
Exactly.
what I get, and I really feel like I got lucky with the gift of still knowing that he's there, and I could talk to him, and you know, with the songs and the lights and stuff. That a lot of times.
Yeah.
I think more the songs and stuff.
I agree. And I think he's still going to do that.
Yeah.
But I think that you won't feel his energy as present as much. And I don't think he'll interfere as much with your relationships.
Yeah. That would be nice. Stop doing that.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Yes. But I think that's as much progress that I can make with him today.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
So I've known him for a while. I do understand that with him. So yeah.
So then the last thing is the poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
So I saved that for last because that's going to be probably the most intensive one. So have you always noticed it here?
Nope. I couldn't really pinpoint when the light started. I would say within 2 years, but the voice was this last November, December, the end of November was the first.
Okay, definitely. So it feels like a lot of it is a lot of built up stress and like anxiety and just kind of feeling like in turmoil for you. Just like a lot of life stressors is what I'm picking up. But the voice. So the thing about the voice is it is a part of the poltergeist, but it's more so connected to you. It's like your own inner voice is like outside of you. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand.
And that's why it's kind of mumbled still. Like it's not fully. Yeah, it's not fully there. So we need to work on basically drawing your energy back into you from the poltergeist.
Okay.
And basically dissolving it. But in terms of like maintenance for it, so it doesn't, you know, get worse, and so it doesn't really like turn into something bad, or like you don't make a new one. The biggest thing is figuring out, you know, ways to deal with your stresses and your emotions, and finding healthy outlets for those. But then also I encourage people who have abilities to step more into that path, because the two kind of go hand in hand, I think. Especially when you get really spiritual, you know, you're able to kind of realize the emotion attached to energy and how those two interact. So I really do encourage people who have those abilities to, you know, maybe look a little bit deeper into them and to explore their spiritual journey and path, whatever that looks like for them. Just because the more that you are aware of yourself, and that, you know, includes your thoughts and your emotions and your energy, then the easier it's going to be to control those things, so that like your energy isn't just like kind of coming off of you. And
I get it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I guess right now for the poltergeist, for dealing with it, the biggest thing I'm going to be doing is just like energy work to kind of draw it back into your body, as well as to like diffuse it, like to diffuse kind of the chaotic aspects of it and to kind of help push it along. But then I have to pull the parts of you back into you. Okay, so I might be doing a little bit more of like a guided meditation. Okay, so for dealing with the poltergeist, I'll probably be doing a bit of energy work and then a bit of a guided meditation to kind of help draw some of your energy back in. So I first want to do a little bit of a scan of the house. And so basically how they manifest is like an orb of light.
Okay.
Like an energy ball. So let's see, where is it now? What does it look like right now? And they kind of move around too. They don't always stay like that. They are definitely the one like paranormal category of things that is the most interesting to me. Okay, so the impression I'm getting from it is like it's kind of like spread throughout your house. Like I was getting the impression of like tree roots, like kind of just all throughout your house, like in the walls and everything. And then let's see what else. Yeah, okay. And it's not quite actually a ball yet. It's concentrated the most here in your bedroom. But it's again, it's just kind of like little air particles is what I'm getting.
Okay.
But it's strongest in that back corner area. And I suspect that that's the side that you sleep on.
No, it's not actually.
Oh, okay.
But there's a lot of people that sleep on that side. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So it kind of might be, their energy might be contributing to it a little bit, to making it a little bit, more intense or just more active. But yeah, that's where it's concentrated. Okay. So we're going to start by just focusing on our breathing. Just breathing in and out. And you can close your eyes if you want during this, whatever you're most comfortable with. And just noticing how your body feels in this moment. You might, sit back a little bit further. And just notice how you're sitting, how your posture is, how your arms and shoulders are, where your feet and legs are. Just notice how your body is feeling in this moment. And using the tool of the breath, I want you to start focusing on your breathing. Breathing in and out. Just allowing yourself to be present in this moment. And I want you to start envisioning that you are a tree connected to the earth, that your feet are the root systems going deep into the earth, that your body is the trunk and bark of the tree, that your arms and head are the beautiful branches and leaves of the tree. And just envision yourself slowly sinking further into this state, using the analogy of the tree to ground you and to protect you. And just focus on your feet. Focus on your connection to yourself, on your connection to the earth. And allow yourself to just be present here in this moment. And I'd like you to start visualizing that you have these beautiful root systems growing out of your feet, deep into the earth, grounding you down, rooting you down. And expand those root systems as far and as wide as you possibly can, creating a very sturdy basis for you. Knowing that you're always protected, you're always supported, you're always strong. Just focus on how you're feeling. And I'd like you to envision the beautiful bark and trunk of the tree coming up around your body, serving as a protective barrier and layer for you, and keeping your energy contained and safe within the bark of the tree. And just envision this beautiful bark coming up from your feet, from your root systems, going up around your legs, your hips, your torso and abdomen, all the way up to your shoulders. And then visualizing these beautiful leaves and branches extending out from the top of your head, going a bit into your shoulder and arm area, just growing, expanding, searching for the sun as trees do. And we're going to be using the leaves and the branches as a way to draw your energy back into your body. And you can visualize a color to your energy if you'd like, either a golden or a white light. And just as the trees' leaves soak up the sun and the water and the air, we are going to be doing the same thing with your energy. And pull your energy deep into the leaves, traveling down the trunk of the tree, deep into the roots. And we're going to be setting the intention to recover, reclaim, recollect, and reground all of our energy deep into our bodies, deep into the earth. And you can visualize all of your energy, just like the sun, being absorbed by the tree's leaves and just traveling down into the trunk of the tree, down into your root systems underneath your feet. And I want you to try to focus on just the energy in this room, in your bedroom, and trying to pull it into your body, back into your body. Using the tool of the breath as you inhale, breathing it in, and as you exhale, replenishing your body so that you can continue pulling all of your energy back. And I'm going to be assisting you with this process by doing some energy work. And I want you to just keep focusing on that analogy of the tree, on visualizing your energy coming back through your leaves, through your branches, traveling down your body, down the bark of the tree, deep into your root systems underneath your feet. And I want you to give your body permission to hold all of your energy and to allow yourself to hold all of your energy and contain it within your body. that you are safe in your body, that your energy is safe in your body. Your thoughts and your feelings are safe in your body. And it is okay to be in your body. And there's just a little bit of your energy left throughout the house that I'm detecting. But a lot of it is back in your body now. So you might be feeling it. And just keep focusing on that analogy of the tree, pulling all of your energy back into your body. And now we're going to be setting the intention to ground all of our energy into our bodies. And just allowing yourself to feel all of your energy, to feel what it's like to be in your body, to feel your thoughts and your feelings, and just letting them be. Allowing yourself to be present with all of them and to connect with all of them. Knowing that it's safe to do so, and that you are the one that decides how you would like to connect. And when you're ready, you can start returning, knowing that you can practice this exercise at any time again, and it's a wonderful grounding exercise, as well as a way to just get some of your energy back. And you can start by just slowly moving your hands, your fingers, whatever you feel most comfortable with. How are you feeling?
I need a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel
Yes.
much better. Much more relaxed. Yeah.
Good. I'm really glad.
Yeah, me too.
Do you feel like you kind of got some of your energy back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
I was picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The manifestations of everything that I was seeing throughout the house, like especially in the walls, that was interesting how it came.
Yeah.
And like manifested like that. It's all back in you now. And it's like I had to kind of like suck it back into your body.
Yeah.
So you might feel really wiped out
Mm-hmm.
and overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
that's totally okay.
Yeah.
So take a nap if you need to. But also keep in mind that, this is kind of energy that's slowly been leaking out of you for, years. So it's going to take a little bit of time to integrate it and to get your body acquainted to it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just be gentle with yourself. Drink a lot of water and keep your protein up. Protein will be really good to keep your body fueled. And then if you're feeling like a little bit floaty or light, a little bit disconnected, dark chocolate's really grounding, as well as any of the root vegetables. So, any type of potato, carrot, turnip. like kind of those hearty foods are really, really grounding. And then
Okay.
meats can be grounding too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm really happy I could help you with that. Hopefully
Yeah.
that helps a lot with the stuff. But like
Yeah.
I was saying, there's the maintenance aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's, figuring out how to kind of deal with stress and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I think that as a society, we're all extremely stressed out and something needs to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but just be gentle on yourself about that.
Okay.
We're all dealing with it. And just like when you notice something coming up, maybe just, find a way to redirect that energy, even if it's just going for a 5 or 10 minute walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a way to, yeah.
That's what I've been trying to get in the routine of. Just go for the walk, take the dog, go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. A lot of starting new routines of, the mindfulness of, okay,
Yes.
switch it back this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been practicing it a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes time to develop those
Definitely.
routines. Yeah, and like, even for myself, I get really into my routine because I understand the importance of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, some days life just gets in the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have to be gentle with yourself too, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
That feels better.
Good. I'm really happy. I think that, just in this house, even in your room, I can feel a difference
Lighter.
already.
Yeah.
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 And I think that you'll feel it more and more over time because, like I was saying, and this applies to the poltergeist aspect as well, that there's a bit of that residual energy there, so it's just going to take some time to clear out a little bit, but it's cleared. It's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so then the final thing, I know you wanted me to connect with some people.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about that. Who would you like to connect with? What would you like to know?
So, since July, we've had quite a few losses and changes. July, my best friend passed away. She lived in Arizona. We grew up together. She had passed. During this time, I was in a relationship, and then that October, his father passed, and then our relationship kind of went. Which I mean, the moment I heard that his father passed, I was like, this is not going to be good for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because him and his dad were very close, and I was like, this is going to probably be the string that breaks us.
Mm-hmm.
And so come November, that kind of did, we were like going our separate ways at that point. And this has been an 8-year relationship, so... I mean, it was like a death as well.
Yeah, that's devastating.
Yeah, and then a few months later, and I'm trying to think of which month it was, I think April. Actually, Valentine's Day, my uncle passed. And then, a month later, this April... 2 months, my dad passed, which the uncle was my dad's brother.
Mm-hmm.
So he passed as well. 2 weeks after that, my ex's cousin that I knew very well also, and my kids did as well, especially my son. My son was very attached to all these people. And so, well, except for my best friend in Arizona, he didn't know her too well besides over video talking and stuff. It's my ex's cousin, he committed suicide. So within July to now, it was 5 deaths.
Yeah, I was going to say like 6.
Death of a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so
a lot.
It's been a lot. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah. I really feel for you and your family.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot of heaviness.
Mm-hmm. Definitely very understandable. So I can connect with each person if you'd like. But I'm also getting a bigger message that, like you were saying, there's a lot of new stuff in your life, and like this was kind of a big part of it. The biggest thing that's coming through to me is your best friend who passed. It's like, I feel like she was kind of aware in a way that she knew it was going to happen. Yeah. And she wishes that it didn't happen like that, but she knew it was going to happen. But she also knew, I feel like she was getting a lot more into spirituality the closer she got to her passing. And I feel like she kind of knew that, like, that was going to be a bit of a catalyst for you. I don't know how to describe it. But it's like she had a knowing, is what I'm sensing, is that she knew that there was a lot ahead for you, and she wishes that she could be there for you, but she also sees that, like, you needed to go through a lot alone to get to where you need to be.
Yeah, I can get that. I understand.
Yeah. But that's the biggest thing I'm getting, is she's coming through the strongest out of everyone. And she really, 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 really wishes that she could be here with you, but she knows that you know she is. Yeah, and I feel like there were, like, discussions about this or something, like, there was a lot of stuff leading up to this. Like, there was an understanding between you two.
It would be discussions as, oh, we're just going to be single and end up together in the end, and it was kind of like, but she knew she wasn't going to, you know, we weren't going to end up living together and the rest of our lives. Like, she knew that she wouldn't be there, but would say, you know, no, it's going to be us, you know, we'll be those single old ladies, and it's like, but I felt it, and I know she did.
Yeah, that's the sense I'm getting, and she's very much at peace. She's not on Earth anymore. She moved on very, very quickly. But I think that she does come through to you, and you don't realize it.
Yeah, I think I had blocked her out because I was not accepting of it for a very long time. In fact, it was shortly after my dad died that I would start dreaming like she would come to me. And they were very vivid and very real. And I remember the last one, she kept telling me, we're doing shots of tequila. We're going out and we're going to do some shots. And I was like, I'm not drinking with you. I'm not doing it. And so I'd wake up and it was like, oh, that felt so good. We were so happy. That was a great dream. And just cry.
Oh, yeah. Those bittersweet moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely her. She's trying to connect with you, and she really wants you to have a lot of fun and to really, like, get the love that you deserve.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Would you like any tissues or anything?
No, I'm okay.
You want me to stop recording?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
I'm alright.
Okay.
Yeah. And I felt like her passing, kind of like what you were saying, was leading me up closer and closer to the passing of, you know, people that were closer to me, like my father.
I agree. Yeah, and that's the thing I'm getting. It's a big catalyst with her.
Yeah. And
then that leads straight into the relationship. I feel like she wasn't the biggest fan of the relationship.
Of which relationship? With my ex.
Yes.
I don't. They didn't have much contact between each other, but she probably wasn't, especially towards the end, because she knew, she was like, this is enough. Because I knew for the past couple of years I needed to go. So I'm sure she. Yeah, but it was kind of something. I mean, we had our own language and thing of being on, you know, like video calls and stuff like that, and it was just me and her, and not too much heavy life stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Especially towards the end, it was like stupid stuff, us being silly, and, you know, dress up stuff, and yeah, we did a lot of silly stuff together.
Yeah, I see that you are definitely soul sisters. There's a really light aspect between you two.
Yeah.
But you were also there for hard stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But very, very much sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I see that. And I'm getting goosebumps when I'm connecting with her, like, all over. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like she was kind of preparing you, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's interesting that the cycle ends with your father.
Mm-hmm.
The person who's also closest to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so then going into that relationship, I think that she did know. And I got the sense that you knew it was kind of done, too. And again, that goes back to a lesson for you of learning to trust your intuition and trust yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then some solar plexus themes, too.
Yeah.
And some sacral themes, yeah. Of just knowing that, like, you are very worthy and deserving.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's many, many fish in the sea for you to catch.
Yeah. Okay.
That's essentially what's coming through right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but for that relationship... Oh, there's another kitty. Hello. So for that, I'm getting the sense that his father's death was very much a catalyst for him, in a way, just as everything you were going through. But the way you two dealt with it was total opposite. And he saw you, recently lose your best friend and kind of go through that process. But the way that he dealt with it was not good at all.
No.
And then it kind of led to, just kind of more exaggerated responses or behaviors to things that he already did, but it was just a lot more exaggerated and reactive.
And that's why I knew, oh, this ain't gonna be good. Because what his destructive behavior had been, I knew was gonna escalate.
Exactly,
to worse. And then now with the loss of his cousin, I'm like, oh. And I've talked to a few of his family members, and it's like, he's a mess on. They said, yes, he's definitely a mess.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knew I would have always been there for him, but when my dad passed, he couldn't do it. He said it brought up too much pain that he's not dealt with yet. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Kristie.
Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting, is there's a lot of suppressed emotions and some trauma that he just has never really dealt with. So,
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
She's pushy. Sorry.
It's all good. So it just, it led to that, kind of destructive, aspect. And it's just kind of, getting worse and worse. But I think that the biggest message for you with that too is releasing yourself from a lot of the guilt and from people pleasing and feeling like you need to take care of other people and always be there for other people. Yeah. And that's the lesson for that relationship with you. Okay. Yeah. And then the death of his father and then his cousin are there to teach him more about how to connect with his emotions, be emotionally vulnerable, and to finally face all those things that he's been suppressing for so long. Yeah. And he had a bit of a chance with his dad, but then it made things worse. So then it's like with his cousin, he got another chance, and I don't know where he's at right now. I don't think he's able to deal with it, unfortunately. And a lot of people get to that point.
Yeah. And I still haven't let go of the relationship totally either. It's still hard for me. 8 years is,
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my mom put it. She goes, I lost my husband, and it's no different in your relationship of what you lost. She goes, you're going through the same thing.
Exactly.
With the loss,
Exactly. So, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So take your time, to do everything that you need to do.
Yeah.
And be gentle with yourself, but it's also know going forward that is a really big lesson of not having to sacrifice yourself for someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's been many. So nothing on my dad.
Oh, I was getting to your father. He was the last one.
Okay.
I was going in sync. I forget the exact word, but I was going in timeline, like in order of everything.
It's so funny because it's like I'm thinking just like you. It's right there on my tongue, but I can't do it. Right. What it was. Yeah, I get what you're doing though.
Yes. Yeah. So your father, he has messages for you. So can I please have his name?
Ben.
Ben, thank you. All right, Ben, I'm connecting with you on behalf of your daughter, Kristie. If you could please come through right now. Oh, he had a lot of health issues.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that. I can't tell exactly if he's still on Earth or not. But he's moving really slowly. There's a lot of like lethargy, fatigue, pain there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely getting like a lot of inflammation in his body.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of inflammation.
Yeah.
Like definitely something like arthritic almost he's dealing with. Like there's a lot of bone stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
This actually might be an interesting thing though to show. Because so there's many different types of mediums, and so I'm all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something called a spirit medium, which is basically where the spirit can come into your body and it'll make you feel how they feel.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if I can get him to come all the way into my body so I can feel the health issues he was dealing with, because he also is a little bit stuck over that.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused issues with his memory
Mm-hmm.
and like his cognitive functioning, and he was aware of it and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
At all. Like medicine
Angry.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's see. Ben, what's going on with you? I'm connecting with you on behalf of your daughter, Kristie. Okay, so I'm going to try to bring him into my body.
Mm-hmm.
But his energy is like so... It's like, it's slow. Like there's a lot of stiffness, like lethargy to it. It's like he's having a really hard time moving and getting up and around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he doesn't really want to come into my body right now, and that's okay. He seems like really sad. Like there was a big disconnection for him at the end.
Actually, me and him just started connecting in July when my best friend died. My parents were married, and I have a brother, and neither one of us really had a relationship with my father. But in July, I went to him and told him I wanted that to change. So
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, and then that didn't give us much time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was my intuitive, that it was like,
I agree.
I better go do this. Because it was just one of those things that was so strong that I need to go connect.
I agree, yeah.
So, yeah, he never did get that with my brother. So...
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I know he, through my mom, that he had a lot of regret with me and my brother and, you know, his relationship with us.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That sadness right there.
Mm-hmm. The sadness, I think the disconnect is more like from reality a little bit.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of medicine.
Yeah,
He
he did take a lot of medicine.
There was a lot
He
of...
didn't like it.
And it affected him. I'm not getting so much the emotional disconnect with you. It's just like kind of disconnected from himself and just kind of like in this weird limbo state and really sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a Marine. So when he got all this sickness and all this stuff going wrong with him, that was really depressive. To go from a strong man, you know,
yes,
into not being able to do much at all.
Yes, and that's the impression I'm getting, is he's very stoic, very strong.
Yeah.
I suspected some type of military background with how he's presenting to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, his health issues really got in the way. I'm curious if I can see exactly what was going on with him, because I'm definitely getting the pain, the lethargy, you know, fatigue, low energy levels. Definitely some kidney and liver stuff. Let's see, though, what's going on throughout Ben's body. Yeah, there's a lot of liver stuff. It feels like his liver functioning was not good at all. I think he still had his gallbladder, though. But I'm suspicious if he had one or not. Then there was the breathing issues, too, with him. Like, the breathing in the heart, kind of the upper body issues. Yeah. Then there's a little bit of neuropathy, a little bit of some neurological stuff, like fibromyalgia type stuff. I'm picking up. The kidneys are a little bit from dehydration. I'm picking that up for sure from him. But then I'm also getting the sense of like gallbladder stones or kidney stones, like really, I don't know, there's something with the kidney function though, the kidney and the urinary tract that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then let me see further into his body. There's some issues on the right hip and the right knee area I'm getting. And again, that might be just a little bit more that arthralgia, that kind of that pain, that inflammation in there. But just like a really overwhelming amount of pain and inflammation and just really, really, really low energy. The liver is the biggest thing to me, and then kind of that heart and lung component.
Okay. Yeah, so he had cancer, gallbladder cancer, and it was replaced with a pig bladder.
Oh, okay.
So you're on with the confusion of, I don't know, did he have it? Did he not?
Yeah.
You know?
Because it looks like there's something in there, but I was like, oh, I don't know exactly what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like,
what it was.
I'm pretty sure he had to get his gallbladder removed for something.
Yeah, cancer. And so, and then he did have COPD, which is what ultimately ended up causing his heart attack. Was his he ended up with I don't know why I can't say it, lack of oxygen, and went into cardiac arrest.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, and they don't know how long he went without the oxygen, so his brain did end up swelling, and yeah, it got too swollen for him to come back.
That makes sense.
So,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just to validate especially the bladder. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he have like kidney, urinary tract, bladder issues?
Yeah. He had, and this is a lot of this I was not involved in, so I don't know. And my memory, like I told you, is very hard. And it was years ago that he did get replaced with a pig bladder. But yeah, he did have some. I just don't know to what extent or not.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, there was a very quick scan, not like when I do my full medical intuitive scans by any means. But yeah, it is an interesting thing to be able to pick up on those things from someone who's passed. But let's connect more with him and what he has to say to you.
Okay.
Ben, what are the messages that you have for your daughter, Kristie? Is there anything you'd like to communicate to her at this time? He's saying he tried his best, but he didn't know what to do. But he does love you. And he's definitely got a strong voice. Strong, deep voice. And he's showing me when he's younger. Which sometimes spirits will come across that way. Like they'll show or present themselves how they most like themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like he's trying to tell me a story, and like he's sitting down and everything, and like he kind of has his arms out and everything, and expressive. Yeah, he's definitely expressive. And he's kind of just like, well, you know how it is, like, you know how things went down with your mom and I, and I didn't know what to do. There's definitely some feelings of like being really lost throughout life.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like he tricked himself into, and I think that I really see that really strongly with the Marine aspect, the military aspect of like, you know, kind of like, oh, this is my identity, this is who I am, this is my role. but he was still lost.
Yeah.
Within that, it's like he never really got the opportunity to connect with himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he really just kind of wants to tell me about his life. He wants someone to talk to. Because throughout his life, he was really lonely. I don't think he really ever found another companion again after your mom.
They were together still.
Oh, okay.
They had just celebrated their 50th. And, yeah, you know, he was very in love with my mom.
Oh, okay.
Very much.
Okay, definitely.
My mom, besides, it was my mom in the Marine Corps.
Oh,
to him.
very cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the sense that, like, he was very connected to your mom. But there was a deep loneliness within him.
Yeah.
And maybe it's more just, like, that's how he was. Like, kind of this deep sadness and loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how much he can communicate and relay to you from that state. Sometimes spirits, like I've kind of been communicating, it's like that residual energy a bit. They just get caught up in it. They don't really move on from it.
Yeah.
But sometimes on the other side, spirits can, reflect back, and even in sessions, it'll come up where they'll kind of communicate that they recognize they weren't the best person, and they wish they could have been there more. They wish they would have done X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But he is saying that, like, he is communicating that in a way, but there's a lot of, like, lethargy to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of passion behind it.
Yeah, that's, my mom always said just what you said. He'd always say, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it.
Exactly.
I didn't know what to do. Yeah, she'd say, he just didn't know what to do with you guys. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing I keep hearing from him, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually funny that he said that a lot.
Everything you were saying that he's saying, he just didn't know. It's everything my mom would always tell us.
Oh, very cool.
He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He was, his life was my mom and the Marine Corps. He knew how to be a Marine. He was very respected as a Marine, and yeah, I mean, even with his passing, so many people came through on Facebook and everything because he kept in contact with them all. And they were like, your dad raised me, because they were under him in the Marine Corps. So, because he was up into a gunnery sergeant, really high ranking, and everybody that worked below him was like, your dad made me the person that I was. And so he knew how to raise a Marine, but not two children. So, yeah, that's why my mom said...
different things.
Yeah, she said, he didn't know what to do with you guys.
Oh, goodness.
So that's very strange to be raised that way, you know? That he could do his job and raise these people to have so much respect. And then there was us that was like, who is this guy? We don't know him. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so interesting to me, and I feel like it makes sense, though.
Yeah.
That when he's in that role, he does really well, and he knows who he is, but when he's outside of that, he doesn't.
And that's when you said that, like, he didn't connect with himself, really. So, kind of like he hid behind the Marine Corps to be, this is who I am. I'm not that, thing, but I'm this. And he chose that that's what he was going to be.
Yeah,
Exactly. If that
exactly.
makes sense.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to kind of, like, be a parent through the Marine Corps, because that's the only way he knew how to be. And, like, that was his way of kind of fixing it. But he also had a lot of, like, guilt for himself. Like, he was aware that he didn't know what to do. But it's like, if he would have just communicated, then this all could have been fixed. Yeah. But I think it's something that a lot of men struggle with, like that archetype of that strong, silent, emotionally detached.
Yeah, and that describes him perfectly.
Yeah, but I can see that then with the Marine Corps, and especially connecting with those young men, that was his way of doing it. Yeah. And he just didn't know how to apply that to you and your sister.
Your brother.
Or brother, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. But yeah. It was, and my mom she was always the caregiver, and we could get away with things with mom, and they were two totally different people, especially with parenting, so... Yeah, very funny.
That is. Yeah. So. Do you have any questions for him?
I don't really. I just want to make sure that he stays there with my mom.
Okay. He is. And that's where a younger self of him is coming through more, that marine aspect, where he's like, I am here to protect her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well then, Ben, it's okay. You can forgive yourself. You can be present and be connected to your children still from the other side if you would like. Thank you for connecting with me. You can go now. I know you're very tired. Okay. I am disconnected from him. All right. Do you have any other questions or anything else?
I have one more thing I'm going to bring up with you because I don't know why I didn't even think of this, but we are having another loss. My son's dad, right after the suicide of my friend, about 2 weeks after, I got diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, goodness.
And it's terminal. So now we're losing him as well.
Goodness. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, we will find out. He does his last, well, I'm sure not last test, but the final test to see how far it's spread the next week. So...
Would you like me to look at him?
Can you?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
that would be great.
I'm a medical intuitive as well,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I'm able to pick up some of the medical stuff from your father.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, as a medical intuitive, I'm able to look into someone's body and see what's going on with them. But the way I do it is like beyond the physical body, because a lot of things I see emotionally connected. And so I'm able to like look into their body and see what's going on and kind of understand it, and then to also feel it in my body sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, let me see. Can I have his name?
Kevin.
Kevin, okay. All right, so I'm going to connect with Kevin, and I'm just going to try to pull him up and connect with his energy. He's very weak, I will tell you that. He needs to be drinking more fluids, more electrolytes. Bone broth in particular is going to be really good for him with how weak he is and his digestive tract not being able to handle a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to keep his fluids and electrolytes up.
Okay.
Because that will actually get to someone first.
Okay.
And especially with the heat, the summer coming up, that's going to be really important.
Okay.
But yeah, whatever, drinks he can get down, water, Powerade, Gatorade, but I really recommend the bone broth too. That'll be really nutritious for him as well, and really comforting and soothing. Okay, so I'm going to first do a scan of his lymphatic and immune systems.
Okay.
So I'm getting a lot around my throat area.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in his throat?
We don't know where it's spread to yet, but it's prostate.
Okay. I was going to say, is it endocrine related, which would be prostate, and then, yeah. Okay. So I'm definitely getting something with the throat. But that might be indicative of thyroid issues too. It's hard to tell because his energy is very weak right now. And then also being connected to him in person is the most accurate way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was getting a lot of like widespread nerve pain and issues too from him.
Okay. He hasn't mentioned that. Yeah.
He might not realize it. It might just be that his nervous system is like inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it is if he's on everything and dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
And then the neurological system is also connected to the immune system.
Yeah.
So I was just getting that inflammation right away when I was first tapping into him. His breathing is really weak. Okay, but I need to stop getting distracted. Let me go back to his immune and lymphatic systems and see what's going on. I'm going to first tap into the lymphatic system, looking at all of his lymph nodes. So surprisingly, the ones in the lower body aren't really swollen or present, but it's the ones in the upper body that are more swollen and having a hard time. And that makes sense because I was picking up the lung component. I was just talking about that, the shallow breathing. But the lungs are also one of our 7 detox pathways throughout the body. And that's just a way, to get rid of toxins, energy, things like that. And we do that through breathing and through then being connected to our cardiovascular systems. And so I'm definitely getting the sense that his body's very overwhelmed by all the medication. And I think that's impacting, that's what was coming up with the lung aspect there. That he's having a hard time breathing. So I would look into some breath support for him. Okay, now looking into his immune system and his body. So I do think that there might be a little bit going on in the digestive tract in terms of how it's spread.
Mm-hmm.
But then something with the bones keeps coming up for me too. But it might be the medication he's on making his bones really weak.
I don't know that he's started any medications yet for the cancer.
Okay.
He did do a bone scan, was it last week or the week before? And it showed it hasn't gone into the bones yet. But it is a very aggressive cancer that will probably...
Yeah, the bones keep coming up for me. The bones. And especially the legs in particular, and like the hips and the knees. Those keep coming up for me.
Yeah. And the girl's dad, that was all the same for him too. Mm-hmm. In fact, he texted me and he goes, are you the cancer widow, or what are you doing to us, men? No. Because it's about the same cancer. Mm-hmm. And so, I'll lose 2 fathers, and he's like, he had to make a joke of it. He's very depressed, of course, so you can understand. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, he won't be able to do chemo or anything, he said, so. But.
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
But
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but so you feel this heaviness. Did you get all of it now? That it's how much heaviness has really been around us.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
A lot.
You should definitely take it easy on yourself because I don't think everyone could deal with what you have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to try to run away in July and go to San Diego for a while.
Good.
With my aunt that lost my uncle too, so.
Good.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything else real quick
with
Kevin while I'm still connected to him. I want to try to go into his blood and see how his white blood cells are and everything while I'm in the immune system in the body. So his bloods are off a little bit, but he actually has a pretty good count on everything. They're pretty average range, but the fatigue is really getting to him right now, and his energy levels. And I feel like he's not eating like he should be. His appetite's being affected a little, but then when he does eat, it's not the healthiest foods. Okay. So, eating, more nutritious whole foods is going to help him feel better.
Yeah.
But I am definitely getting the mentality of that depression kind of giving up. So he's like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I understand both points.
Yeah.
That's for him to decide.
He's flipped a lot. He's like, no, I don't have it. I'm gonna fight it. And then like today, I got the text of, I can't take it anymore. I'm so depressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is very depressing.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I can't even envision what it's like.
Mm-mm. The emotions he texts me from one day to the next, to 1 week to the next, I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and then let's see. He needs more B vitamins.
Okay.
For sure. For sure. And then, okay, I want to look at the immune system outside of his body. Because the way it shows up to me is like there's the immune system like in the body, and then it's like your auric shield around you.
Okay.
Too. Okay, yeah. He is getting like some shoulder stiffness. Yeah, there's something going on with his shoulders. Yeah. My biggest piece of advice to him is a lot of baths and massage, stretching, to try to make him as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, I believe he holds a lot of stress in his shoulders.
Yeah. But there's a bit of a bone aspect too, especially coming up with the right shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, the bones are kind of what I'm worried about. But let's see. Let's go back again and just see if the cancer is spread anywhere else in his body. Because I am suspicious of some of the digestive tract.
Okay.
And then the bones and the thyroid. Like the throat area. Those are the only areas I would suspect. But the way that I interpret things is a little bit different. Sometimes it's like I can see where they're going, not necessarily where they are right now.
Yeah.
But those are the areas.
Okay.
Okay. But helping him right now is going to be the biggest priority in the things that you can do. So making him as comfortable as possible. You know, invest in, you know, a really good massage therapist. There's a few around here that are good.
Yeah.
Some lymphatic drainage massage would help him too.
Okay.
Anything to help promote his relaxation, really. Even baths, hot springs are really, really healing and beneficial, and it would be a great trip for him.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you want to go with him or something. I think that would be really good for him too. For the pain relief and the fatigue and kind of all that stuff, B vitamins will be helpful in the morning. And then I feel like he would benefit from some NAC. That's a liver booster.
Okay.
Just because I feel like there's like a lot of toxins, like, and you said he's not on medication, but I could tell like there's something.
He started like Xanax and Ambien because of his sleep and the stress, but I don't know what else he's on.
For sure.
That. Yeah.
That makes sense. I was getting the aspect though that his body is like has processed a lot of toxins throughout his life, and like it's built up and it's accumulated over time. So the NAC will help with the liver and kind of flushing some of that out, because the liver's our main detox pathway throughout the body. And then that's going to help with kind of some of the lung stuff too that he has going on. He also, I would definitely recommend, you know, changing his diet a little bit if possible. Like more whole foods, cooked foods that are going to be gentle on his digestive tract too.
Yeah.
And cutting out the soda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He struggles with that, and that's leading to some heartburn and indigestion issues. But drinking a lot more water, a lot of fluids, keeping his electrolytes up, the bone broth too. Then for the pain relief, like I was saying, the hot springs I think would be really good for him, like some natural hot springs. But simply just the practice of putting your bare feet in the earth, like for 30 minutes a day, has been proven to help with pain relief and management. And I know some people, you know, use cannabinoids, CBD stuff. If he's open to that. Hemp, I will say, especially for terminal cancer.
Yeah. He has smoked for a long time, ever since, I mean, my son's going to be 11, and I've known him for 14 years. Yeah, I think most all his life he's smoked.
Yeah, so that will definitely help to provide some comfort.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the priority for him at this point.
Yeah. He definitely was like, I can just get through this with just the, smoking and stuff. And then the more he was sinking in, he's like, I think I need something else. Oh, there was another medication he did add for the depression, but I don't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was like, I think I am going to need to go get, a Xanax and some sleeping medicine. He goes, I don't think this is going to get me to sleep like it used to and stuff. I said, yeah, you're pretty I'm having a bad day.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think that those things will help, but also just, being around people that he loves, doing the things that he loves can help a lot with that pain relief and overall mood too. So those are the things that I would recommend for him.
Okay.
Just really making sure too that he gets those experiences he wants.
Yeah. He's definitely, he's like, I'm done working. He said, I'm going to live right now.
Good.
So,
and he should travel if he wants.
Yeah. That's what he's going to do.
Good.
So,
Good.
which anyone should,
Yes, exactly.
But, yeah.
All right. I'm going to disconnect from him now. Okay. Thank you, Kevin, for connecting with me. Okay. Cool. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, I'm not going to say any more because that was a lot.
No, it's all good. Well, thank you so much for letting me do the walk and tour and connecting with everyone.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to sit here and chat with you and just get to know more about you and your family and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Of course.
It's nice. It was very nice.
Yeah.
So, and I will, after he does the next scan, I'll keep you updated on what they come up with next. When is the 30th?
Next week.
Yeah.
Right? Next Tuesday.
Yeah. So I will get a hold of you to keep you updated on that.
Yes, definitely. Also, I want to say too, if he wants, I can do some Reiki sessions on him free of charge.
Okay.
Because Reiki has been proven to help with pain relief and cancer patients especially. Or elderly patients.
Yeah.
So I'd be more than happy to help with that. Just, anything to help him with some pain relief because I can't even envision what that's like.
Yeah. I know the girls' dad, when going through it, he went, the pain he was in was horrible.
Yeah, definitely. And I can do the Reiki sessions via distance.
No?
So he never even has to meet me because I understand it might, be uncomfortable to move and get up and have the energy to do that. So, if that's something, he's interested in, that you're interested in, I can do it.
Okay. I'll definitely speak to him.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right.
I'm so glad I had you come over.
Me too. Well, thank you again, Kristie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I do too. I think it's let a lot off my shoulders and new beginnings and new starts for sure.
I agree. And you deserve it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.